Hi guys, welcome to my channel. As you know, this channel is all about holistic wellness and body, mind and soul connection. In today's video, I will try to cover what is processed food and is processed food always bad for us. First of all, let us try to understand what is a whole food. So anything that occurs in the nature such as plants, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, fruits, all of these are whole foods. Now, sometimes we process them to change their format, and during the process, we have to see whether we are taking away the nutrients of that whole food or are we adding something bad to it. And what is something bad to it? Some chemicals, preservatives, sugars, anything to prolong their life. And how do we take out the nutrients? There can be many ways, such as cooking, blanching, steaming, adding some chemicals, inducing taste and flavors, artificial flavors. So these are some of the ways in which we process the food, sometimes to make them tasty, sometimes to make them easy to go packs, and sometimes to prolong their shelf life. Now, what should we be concerned about? Are processed foods always bad? Now, here it is important to understand what are you comparing it with? Somebody was to ask me that, okay, are mashed potatoes better? So it depends. Are you today having French fries and you are looking at substituting the French fries with the mashed potatoes? Then definitely yes. But if you are comparing it with or mashed sweet potato, then the answer will be very different. So again, the answer here is very, very relevant to your context. So you have to answer this for yourself. Now, coming to, is processed food always bad? No, because processed food is also supposed to give us certain ease and convenience, which may not be possible otherwise. So, if I'm substituting my normal butter with a peanut butter or a almond butter or any nut butter, then definitely it's a healthier choice and it makes sense to go for the processed food. But it's good to be careful if you can get hold of organic ingredients in that. Similarly, if I talk about tomato juice, so if you're having raw tomatoes and versus if I were to compare a tomato juice, actually a tomato juice has much higher antioxidant capacity as compared to the raw tomatoes. But of course, this is assuming that no sugar, no salt has been added to it. So again, so processed food is not a complete no-no. It totally depends on if it is enabling you to make healthier choices, then it is better to go for that processed version of a healthier food or the whole food. Now let me take another example here. When we talk about grains, so such as rice or wheat, so the whole food is the normal, there's a grain and on outside you have a covering which is called a bran. Now, if we are using that brown rice for consumption, well and good. But if we are to process it, like, we will remove the bran, we'll remove the husk, and what comes to us is the pure, shiny, polished white rice. Now, the thing is that in the process, we have removed the fiber, we have removed the husk, and many such other compounds which are actually essential for our gut flora. And why is that important? So let us assume that if we are having a brown rice, it is difficult to digest. So first it goes to the stomach, then it goes to the small intestine, and then it will go to the big intestine. Now, when it is passing through our body, there is bacteria in our intestines, in the gut. So these need to feed on certain good foods. Now, when they are fed properly, they are operating at optimum levels to help us in the digestion process. However, when we switch to these refined grains, they are very easy to digest. The fiber has been removed. A lot of other compounds have been removed. So now they go to the stomach, they are digested very quickly, then they go to the small intestine, and by the time they reach there, it's almost digested. It's almost completely digested. And in the large intestine, our bacteria is waiting to have some good nutrients, but by the time it reaches it, it's already over. So they are not being fed nicely. In most of the cases, it is better that whenever you're making a choice, make it of an unrefined grain or sugar or any brown formats as compared to the refined forms where the grains might look very shiny and polished and uniform and clean, but they're not serving you any good. So I hope you were able to understand the difference between a processed food and why it is not always bad. It depends on an individual's context, depending on their food habits today. If it is making your life and your healthier choices easier, then it is better to go for processed foods or in certain formats. But of course, you have to remember what kind of ingredients have been added into processed foods. Now, for here, I would like to also share one rule which is called the 5:1 rule, which means that if you look at the ingredient panel of anything that you're picking up on the shelf, and if you look at the amount of carbohydrates present and the amount of fiber present in the pack, if you divide the two, the carbs divided by the fiber, if it is more than 5, it should go back to the shelf. It is not worth consuming. However, if it is less than 5, the amount of, again, I'm explaining here, the amount of carbs divided by the amount of fibers in the pack. If it is less than 5, that is something you can easily consume and it is a good food. So I hope this rule helps you in making nice decisions, nice choices in the grocery store, and be mindful of what you're putting in your mouth, because you have to honor your body, you have to respect your body, and then it is one of the biggest tools that you have available with you to improve your immunity, to improve your performance, to improve your overall well-being. That's all in this video, and if you like it, please subscribe to my channel and like the content below. I will keep bringing you more tips on holistic wellness.